been since early morning in Hyde Park, and how beautiful it is. Students, nurses, workers, teachers, engineers. I've seen the people of Britain come together to say that this land is ours. It's not the multinational. In Egypt, the struggle has been raised. The slogan was change, freedom, and social justice. And I don't think that it is very different here, is it? We are here for change, aren't we? We will not take it any longer this way. And freedom. I've heard some people say that it's very different, the situation in the third world, and it's very different, the situation in Egypt and the struggle there, because we had to struggle against a despot that is much bloodier than any here. But it's essentially the same, because how can it be a democracy here when we tell them with the biggest demonstration in the history of this country, do not go invade Iraq? They go invade Iraq, and now they want us to pay the price. This is not democracy. This is called armed robbery.
The train now standing on platform 4.
The government has cut the teaching grant to universities by 80% and for some courses 100%. They have taken an enormous gamble, but the money that's going to come in from charging students £9,000 a year is somehow going to cover that cost. It is not. They have also taken away the education maintenance allowance from young people in further education colleges and sixth form colleges. The money that makes all the difference for those young people, between those young people being able to follow a course, either a vocational course or a course that will lead them onto a course on higher education. We say this is wrong, this is folly, it is madness. Our young people deserve better, our society deserves better.
The people have the power, not the government, not a bunch of millionaires running the cabinet, us. We are the people. We have to reclaim our people power, and we have to fight back. We need everybody to become an activist. I'm sure everyone started me as an activist, but there's a whole heap of people I've seen today around Hyde Park, down Oxford Street, that are busy doing their shopping, going into these shops that aren't paying their taxes, and those people need to be out fighting with the rest of us, because whilst I'm fighting for their futures, they need to be fighting for my futures. We need absolute unity in this fight.
Occupy! 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 Occupy!
We need to arm ourselves with the information and the knowledge to hold these people to account, because we are free. The problem is that unwittingly and unknowingly we have given away our freedom. It is time to take that freedom back.
There's people sitting at this moment, fingers on the trigger. There's loyalty and royalty to make their violence figure. Allegiance to the flag, they say, as they lock the prison door. Allegiance to normality is what lobotomies are for. God, Queen, and country, they say we've got the choice. Free speech for all if you've got no voice. Propaganda on the airwaves, here's the way to live. Not for you and me, the alternative. They look for peace in Iraq with 10,000 squatty boys. Torture in their prisons and other of their ploys. They'll keep us all in line and they'll keep us on our toes. But if we stand against their power, see how violence grows. Read it in the paper about rebellious youth, but it's them that are so violent, it's them that hide the truth. Stay in line or pay the cost. Do you think they care when another life's lost? The ashes at Asher, it's just a small leap when power is threatened. Life is cheap. Don't think that they won't do it, cause they already do. But this time around, the pawns are me and you.
This is an historic place. In 1887, what was called Bloody Sunday, people on an anti-imperialist march over the oppression of Ireland were killed in this square.
But that event of Bloody Sunday led to the rising of working class people in London against the rich, the new unionism, which showed the emergence of a new working class. In 1990, we finished off the poll tax in this square. And we set fire to the apartheid South African embassy as well. This is historic ground. And let's be clear, from this march today, an historic message went out. Firstly, we don't want slower cuts, we don't want a little bit less cuts, we don't want any cuts at all to be taken from you. You have to go back because there will be people in the trade union leadership, in the leaderships of the Labour Party, who will say to you, well done, but that's enough. It's not enough yet. We have to raise the level of struggle because otherwise they will try and divide us with racism. They will try and make people feel that there's nothing that can be done. On Monday, in every workplace, in every community, we need to go back and start the argument. This was just the beginning, and we have to keep fighting.